We never expected to be away from our sailboat, our home, for such a long time. Instead of being gone for 6 weeks, it's been 5 very long months. We are nervous to discover if the measures we took to prepare her for the short absence was enough to actually last the length of time we were gone. That's crazy that took so long.
I know, right?
We're like the last people here.
You glue these together?
I think so. We're headed down to the boat this morning. We stayed with some amazing viewers in Raleigh who picked us up at the airport last night and are giving us a ride to the boat this morning, about a 2.5 hour drive. We're so excited and a little nervous to see what the condition of the boat is.
All right, we're here.
Are you nervous?
I'm a little nervous, yeah. It's like 5.5 months or something? Is that what it's
5
been,
months.
you figure?
5 months. Almost to the day.
Still a little nippy even when the sun's out.
Well, she's still floating.
Yeah, the barnacles aren't as bad as I thought they'd be. Probably worse on this side, though.
It's pretty bad at the back end.
Grill's still here, that's good. Looks like everything's here.
I wouldn't know if it was missing. It's been too long.
It looks like it's in pretty good shape. Even the string keeping the halyards from slapping is still there.
If we were super cool YouTubers, we'd go inside and pretend.
Are you saying we're not super cool? Of course we're super cool. Come on.
Well, it smells like old boat.
Hey, we have a soda. Nice.
And a paper towel. And some toilet paper.
So the fan's working.
At this point, we've gotten to the boat and we've wandered through it. And we thought it would be really good to revisit how we left it. The things we did to get ready to leave it and those considerations, and then what worked and what didn't work.
Right.
So the biggest first thing that we realized when you're leaving a boat, we thought we would be gone about
6 weeks.
6 weeks,
2 months,
2
maybe.
months, and things went wrong and we were gone 5.
5 or more, so.
Yeah. So when you're getting ready to leave your boat and you think you're only going to be gone this long, there could be a worldwide pandemic. But, you know, something could happen, right, and you may not get back to your boat when you think you do.
Yes. It may need to sit there longer without you.
Right. So maybe take a few more precautions. Let's talk about how we chose this space. We wanted a space that when we left it, because it was hurricane season, it was going to be protected from water rising. So we picked a marina that had floating docks.
Floating docks, right.
And we picked one that was inland. So we are several rivers up from where the main water surge and any kind of main storm would hit.
It's pretty forested around here too, so that helps to block a lot of the wind that's coming up.
So those are things to consider when you're leaving your boat, especially during storm season. The second consideration was having somebody that we knew would be able to check on our boat while we were gone. As it happened, we had several viewers who were able to help us out with that, but we had checked with the marina harbor master, and he had also said that he would be checking on our boat for us.
Chris and Tom were the main two that helped us out a lot, and Tom had a boat here in the same marina, so it was real convenient for him.
A lot of places you can actually pay the marina or pay somebody to come in and check on your boat. So when we left, there was a whole list of things that we did to make the boat ready. So let's talk about the things you need to prep in the boat. So weather is a consideration. So we had fans, air conditioner.
Well, we knew it was going to be summer and humid, so we made sure we put in an air conditioner so that would dry out the air. And then we had multiple fans throughout the boat that would help circulate that drier air and dry out the areas. We're at the marina, so we have the infamous air conditioner in here, which is why she's in a blanket.
Making our audio terrible. We are sorry. But yes, it's super cold in here because we're trying to blow the cold air to the front of the boat. It's not working real well.
So it comes down now. Now this fan kind of blows it under the overhang right there. That one. But then we have this one that generally blows it down the hallway to that fan, which also has fallen over, which is supposed to keep blowing it forward.
And we left doors and cupboards that we were concerned about open.
Anything you think might have an air starvation problem, open it up. Prop it open so that it gets some airflow.
So we pickled the water maker.
Pickled the water maker so that we didn't have to worry about that. All right, folks, we got to pickle the water maker. So we need to get a few things together. 1 bucket. 1 jar of water pickling tablets. A new 20 micron filter. And a new 5 micron filter. 1 jar of pickled green tomatoes. Those are because all this pickling makes you want pickles. These are sodium metabisulfate tablets. You can get them from seawaterpro.com or you can get them on Amazon. I got these on Amazon. I got the pill form just to make it easy. 1 pill per 1 gallon of water gives you what you need. Let those dissolve for your pickling agent. 3, 2. Looks like I might need to stir. All right, Abigail, go ahead, turn it on. So as soon as we're empty, we'll call it good.
We did something with the generator and the electric motor.
I drained all of the water out of the generator and the electric motor, the impellers for the water cooling system. Drained all of that out, cleaned all of the filtration strainers, sea strainers, and shut the through holes off.
Okay. So we also cleaned out our composting head. Then we did the top side. So we took down our sails.
Cleaned up all the lines. Anything that was loose on the deck, we found a new home for it, like brought it inside or we put it in a locker. Made sure that that was as empty as possible of anything that was loose. Anything else that was up there that had to stay up there was tied down securely, and some things were like covered or tarped, like the dinghy motor and generator. Those things were tarped and covered. All of the fuel cans were all covered and tied off to the rails so that they couldn't blow away.
So we took our dinghy and we put it up on the deck.
I also let part of the air out of the dinghy. I didn't want to leave it up there fully inflated because of the heat, so we just deflated it a little bit so that if it got really, really hot, it didn't, overinflate the dinghy.
And then we had a dinghy cover and tied it down.
Right.
So then we went through the boat and we took a lot of the soft goods and we stuffed them in those Ziploc suction bags.
The vacuum seal
The
bags.
vacuum bags. We were concerned about bugs. We did set out bug traps.
Roach traps.
We got rid of any food that would go bad.
So food that would go bad includes anything that's in like a cardboard box, like some of your pastas in a cardboard box. The humidity will eventually just get in there and destroy them.
We emptied our fridge of everything except condiments. So we left the small fridge running and we emptied the big fridge and defrosted and left that open.
Right.
So it's vendor's line chafe protection.
On the deck for the lines, what I did was I doubled up every line I could. And if there was anything that had any chafing problem anywhere near it, we added some form of chafe protection to it.
Right, and that's stuff that we like ordered online.
It's like fire hose cover. Yeah. We do have a sharp corner on the chain plates, and one of the lines comes across a chain plate. I actually took a cheap $10 fender and cut it in half, and then cut it in half again lengthwise and zip tied it to the chain plate so that the line went around the fender, which gave it a lot more protection than the fire hose cover.
Yeah. Hey guys, we know that this has not been a comprehensive list of things to do when leaving your boat for an extended period of time. So we put our checklist into a PDF that you can download for free. Just click the link in the description below to get your copy. So how did it go? Did things work?
I think for the most part, most things worked. Our line situation was good. I didn't see any extra chafing on any of the lines, and they were all still there and secured.
We didn't have any problems with the storms. We had, because it was an El Nino year, we only had a couple of storms. It was a light hurricane season for this area, which was good. We had a big tropical storm come by.
We got videos of the boat with the main part of the dock that wasn't a floating dock, and it had 2 feet of water over the top of the dock. And the floating docks were way high above that, so we did have that, but no, it went pretty good. I'd say the only real fail we had on the deck was the fact that the dinghy cover didn't like to stay in place. It wouldn't fly off, it would just fly forward to the lines and then get stuck, and they'd bring it back and pull it back over the back pontoons again. And then
as far as mold and mildew goes,
I'd say we were about 80% good there, 85 maybe percent good.
The only places that we ended up with any kind of mildew or mold was places where there wasn't good airflow.
Right.
If we had stuff stacked against on the floor against the wall, down behind it we got a little bit. There were some doors that came together.
Like the door to the rear berth and the closet in the rear berth, they opened towards each other, so in between them we had some.
Right, and like behind the books we found some mold. We had actually left a lot more clothes not put in those bags. I'm not sure
And
if
we realized, well, because like we were only going to be gone for 6 weeks.
Yeah, and they didn't have any problem. They had a little bit of a musty smell, but no visible mildew.
Yeah, so I think we did pretty good in that area. So one of the things we did was we put a pan of vinegar out that probably toasted the metal pan.
Oh man, look at that. There's you ruined our pan.
Vinegar?
Yes.
Lynn Party claims that as it evaporates into the air, that it just kills the mold spores, and so
we don't know if that's why we didn't have mold.
I don't know, I probably put what, an inch in the cake pan, but they were bone dry when we got here. Maybe it lasted 4.5 months, maybe it lasted 6 weeks, I don't know.
We didn't ask our friends.
Yeah.
As a marina neighbor of Todd and Tammy's, I volunteered to look in on their boat from time to time and make sure that she is resting well here at the marina. She looks good on the outside. Let's go aboard and take a closer look. All right. Everything looks to be in order here. Checklist largely complete. In the galley, the small refrigerator is still refrigerating. And over here, the electrical panel shows everything in good shape. Here's where the AC is pumping cooler and drier air into the cabin of the boat, and that is running well after a slight GFCI hiccup. Things are looking good in here. Fans are running. It's not easy to see in this light, but down there is the bilge. Right down there, the water level is about where we expected it to be. Just a couple inches of water. So the bilge pumps are doing their job. Otherwise, the engine room looks like it's in good shape. I'd say Spoondrifter is holding up nicely.
They came and they checked on the boat multiple times. And one of the things that they told us was that it smelled a little bit like there was diesel, and they weren't sure where it was coming from. So when we got on the boat, there was a yucky smell. So did you figure it out?
I think that I figured it out. It looks like we have a leaking injector at the top where it screws in. I have 3 injectors, one here, and another one over here. And this middle injector is leaking some diesel fuel. So it is running, you know, down, 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 sitting on top of here, which I got that cloth on, and then dripping into this drip pan that I also have a cloth on. So
That doesn't sound good.
that could be simple. Could be as simple as tightening up the nut. I don't know. I need to look at the manual and see.
Make a couple phone calls. We did. That's something we haven't talked about was the bugs. When we got back, we saw some big bugs, but they were dead.
Yeah, we saw 2 or 3. They weren't moving, but they were there. So
we don't know.
I have not seen a single one since.
No, we don't know if our poison worked or if it just got really too cold for them. We don't know. But they're dead and we haven't seen any more.
That's right.
So before we left, we had put out all of these fans. We purchased a few fans at Walmart that just ran on AC because we were having some trouble with our Caframo fans.
The Caframo fans have a shelf life.
What you working on?
Trying to see if I can ruin another motor.
How many have you ruined so far?
Well, I haven't really ruined any, but I can't buy an exact replacement for the motor for the fan, so the replacement motors I bought aren't working, so I thought maybe I can replace the brushes myself in the old motors. But they're bent over. And I can't get a pick in there to unpick it to pop the back off to see if I can even replace those brushes. So I'm attempting to drill a hole in one side. Hey, you know, I'm just throwing stuff to the wall to see what sticks, right?
So which fans are these that we're trying to fix?
These are the Caframo Ultimate 757s.
So we've had them for 2 years and the brushes are
Toast in almost all of them.
Yeah.
Right now we have 10 of them on the boat and they're $65 a piece. You can add that up. That's, you know, 3/4 of a boat buck almost.
Yeah, they've doubled in price since we bought them.
It's a little unfortunate because if you really research these fans, you will find that they have a life expectancy of
5,000 hours?
I think it's 5,000 hours, which if you're gonna leave them on for what, 5 hours a day, that's 1,000 days. That's 3 years. Well, in a boat like ours, we're using them in strategic places to keep the air moving everywhere in the boat so that it, you know, we have less mold. Rather than one big fan, a lot of little fans, and they only pull like 0.4 amps at full speed for one of them. So you can have 10 of them on and you're only pulling 4 amps. So they're actually really insignificant for power, so they're good for that. But we need the air to move, right?
Yeah, we can't afford to spend $700 every year replacing fans.
Yeah.
One of the other things we didn't consider was that we would be gone longer than we thought we were going to be gone. So while we had electric heaters for the boat, they were packed and buried. There was water in lines and
sink lines and stuff. Yeah.
We had not blown out all of the lines in the water or the pumps for just like our drinking and the showers and stuff like that. So our really good friends brought heaters and put in the boat for us.
We really
appreciated that. So that kept us from having any freeze problems, because we did end up having some really cold weather come through.
We did. And so, you know, I think we looked at the thermometer, and I think the lowest it ever got inside the boat was 41 degrees.
So those are things to consider. If you're leaving the boat and something goes wrong, you might just want to winterize all of those things if you're leaving it in a really cold place that could have a problem. We now have to put this boat back together. And you saw
It's a big job.
Yeah, you saw from last week's video how much stuff we brought. And yeah, I don't know what we were thinking. It's a lot. It's a lot. And we're going to go through and we're going to clean the boat and we're going to wipe down all the surfaces.
There's a lot of stuff that's just not going to make the cut and is going to go away, but it's going to be the older of the stuff, right? So the other problem we have with all the stuff in the boat is that we're hauling out in the boatyard. And I don't see any reason to set it all back up, put on the sails and put all the surfboards out, all that kind of stuff, all the stuff back out in the cockpit, chart plotters, all that crap, if you're going to haul it in the boatyard and sit there for a month. So we thought we'd just keep it in here. Well, now it's in here. It's not supposed to be in here in the first place.
Right.
So it makes in here much more congested.
Yeah. So next week we will put the boat back together. We'll share how we did that. We'll share if we found anything else big as we start deep diving into cleaning and putting things away. So we are really excited to have you with us. We hope that these tips about leaving your boat makes a difference for you.
Right.
And if you've got any questions or things you think we did wrong or that we missed talking about, put them in the comments down below so other people will know what else they should be doing.
We just want you to know that if you think we missed it, I'm sure we did it right in the first place.
All right.
I don't know.
We'll see you next week.
See you later, guys. Thanks.
Bye-bye.